Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for GoldMine 101, our regular series of short GoldMine presentations focusing on different topics. And this morning I'm going to go over the deduplication feature of GoldMine, referred to as Merge Purge. How do you manage duplicate records in your GoldMine system? Now, this presentation will be about a quarter of an hour or so in duration, so it's just an overview of this powerful feature of GoldMine. It's not meant to be in-depth training. My company, Wizard Systems, offer many extensive training options around GoldMine, and we cover this on our administration course. Now, on the call today, we've got people using all sorts of different versions of GoldMine. Pretty much everything I mentioned is relevant to all releases of GoldMine. The Merge Purge feature has been in GoldMine a long time. The audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end. It's probably best to type them in as soon as you think of them rather than waiting towards the end of the session. Also at the end, I'll be giving an update on any GoldMine product news. This call is being recorded, by the way. After the presentation, you will receive an email, probably after a day or so, with a link to recording, which you can listen back to, watch at your leisure, and also we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. As I normally do, just a brief mention about Wizard Systems. We have been trading a long time, well over a couple of decades. We are the top supplier of GoldMine in UK and Europe. We have implemented well over 3,000 GoldMine systems all over the place into different types of companies, sole traders, larger organizations, and we provide a complete service around GoldMine. Any assistance you need at whatever level on GoldMine, we are the experts to assist you in any further customization of GoldMine, implementation, integration with other applications. We also support a wide range of popular add-ons to GoldMine. There's about a dozen or so add-ons to GoldMine that extend its functionality into areas that things that GoldMine doesn't do, that we cover as well. And we provide any type of training you need at your place, our place, or online. And finally, we've got a friendly, responsive help desk service here ready to answer your questions. Okay, so let's go into the Merge Purge feature then. So here is GoldMine, of course, latest version. And I'm going to cover the two main capabilities of Merge Purge. First of all, as you spot records, as you spot duplicate records, when you're doing, say, a search of your GoldMine database for a contact and you spot a duplicate, there's a way of merging the records that you see. You tag them and you merge them. And secondly, the more sophisticated way of merging records together is via what's called the Merge Purge Wizard, which is where you go through either the whole database or just a subset of the database via a filter. For example, you're just going through a group of records to again merge the records based on some comparison criteria that you determine. So first of all, the simple way. Now, first of all, before undertaking any of this, you've got to make sure that you've got a backup. I can't stress that too much. There is no edit undo in this. Once a record has been deleted, once you've merged data together into another record, that is it. Unless you have a backup, there's no recourse to what you've done. So you've got to make sure that people that do this thing in your company, they are proficient GoldMine users, they know what they're doing, and a verified backup. You have a verified backup already. Okay, so first of all, merging tagged records. So as you spot duplicates, you can merge them together. So let me do a search for, I know I've got a duplicate in the system already for someone called Daniel Robinson. If I do a search for Dan or Daniel Robinson, there we are, two obvious duplicate records, same company, same contact. Oh yes, well there's a bit of a difference in the phone numbers there, old format and new format. Of course, on the contact search center here you can determine what columns you see to verify what record perhaps that you want to keep. And there might be a third, Daniel Robinson, as well. So basically, by merging the tagged records, you tag, you select, you tick one of these boxes, one of these little check boxes here, with the record that you want to retain. So let's say start off with this one. It would seem reasonable. That has the most up-to-date phone number, but obviously we could go back to that record and do a more thorough search of the contact fields there just to make sure that that is the record that we want to retain. So we've ticked that one first. That is the record that we're going to merge the others to. So I select now the one or many others that I want to merge to that record. So there they are, the two tagged records highlighted there. And then up on my tools menu and down to data management and merge purge, a few little steps to go through. We've got merged tagged records there. So what this will now do is pop up this little warning window, just confirming what we're going to do. And yes, well, we're going to obviously merge those two records together. Select yes. We now have one record, Daniel Robinson, and all the other information that was against the other record has been merged to this saved record. So if there were multiple history records, notes, linked records, detail records, they're all brought over to that save record there. So that's merged tag records. Now the other more sophisticated way of carrying out a deduplication exercise in your GoldMine database is via the Merge Purge wizard. So we go back to the tools menu again, data management. You'll see there lots of other options that you've got in GoldMine for keeping your database clean. And incidentally, not many other CRM systems out there have this dedupe, this merge purge feature. This is one of the fairly unique things to GoldMine to assist you to make sure that you've got a way of handling duplicate records, because they will inevitably come into your system for various reasons. You can't avoid it. But at least with GoldMine, you've got some really easy to use, powerful features to stay on top of those duplicate records. So Merge Purge Record Wizard here, as you sometimes do with important things in GoldMine, you get the warning window just advising you what you're going to do, and there we are. It's strongly recommended that you make a full backup of your GoldMine data before consolidating and deleting duplicate records. Yes, you must do that. So welcome to the Merge Purge wizard. Now you can, as you select your different criteria and options, you can save those for future use. So if this is a regular sort of thing that you're doing, you can save that as a profile and call that up. Or I could select some new criteria here, which I'll do for this exercise. So I just follow the wizard through. First question, right, over what records are you merging? Is it going to be the whole database? Maybe unlikely. Or is it one of your filters there that you've created, or groups that you created previously? Next. Now, this is where you select the one or many fields to compare and the comparison method. So there could be, you could be doing a comparison here on more than one field. We could be maybe doing a comparison based on the company name, a match of the company name and the person's name, or a match of the company name and postcode, or some other fields where there's something unique about that contact. And when you select more than one field, you apply a weighting, a number of points against those fields. And if the combination of all of those fields goes above this qualifying weight here, the merge purge will take place. So I've got, this is the default setting here, 50. So maybe let's select a couple of fields and we'll apply 25 points to each. So if both fields have an exact match, the merge purge will take place. So here we go, click new. Right, field number one. Well, we could select, maybe these are all of the available contact fields in your contact database, including your user-defined fields here. Let's select company. Four main comparison methods there. Sound X value, so do the company names sound similar? First word, exact match, or first number of characters. So you could say, well, I want to look at the first 25 characters of the company name. If it's an exact match, then a merge will take place. Right, the weighting, remember the qualifying weight, so let's allocate 25 points to this condition, this criteria, click OK. There we are. Number 2, let's now select perhaps the contact name, the person's full name. So down to contact, and we can maybe keep it on Soundex value, and let's allocate 25 points to this as well. Click OK. There we are. Job done. So there's the 2 fields. Now you could have, maybe you could select maybe a third field here, maybe postcode, apply 25 points to that. So effectively what will happen is that if there's a match of company and postcode or contact and postcode, the merge purge, the merging the records will take place. So I click next. Now this is an important consideration here. So in the merge purge process, what do you want to retain? The record that was created first or the record that you were last updating? So that's the option there. And then in the lower part of the screen, you can actually do a little dry run here to just do a little count. You could do the prompt me before merging records. This is where you'll see the 2 offending records side by side, and you can then determine which record you want to retain. Click next. This is where you want to delete the record or just update a field with a value to mark the deletion if you want to then later go through it as a final sort of sanity check just to make sure that you're doing the right thing. So a couple of options there. And do you want to save this for later use? Well, maybe we do. So we'll put in here contact merge or something meaningful there to recognize it later on. Click next. Now if you hit finish, off it will go on its merry way and merge those duplicate records for you. In the background, by the way, you could still be using GoldMine, but it may be this is one of the things you might do when there's not many people logged into GoldMine or nobody logged into GoldMine. So important to consider the timing of when you actually use that Merge Purge wizard there. So there we are. That's a quick run through of the Merge Purge capability. Obviously prevention is better than cure. So when you create new records, of course, you may be familiar with the duplicate checking options that you've got when you're entering a new contact record. This will be an exact match search. So the default might be company and contact name, but you've got some other options there. Belt and braces approach. And also, when you're importing records, there are some sneaky ways of determining duplicate records. If you think that some of the records that you're importing will exist in your GoldMine database already, then the GoldMine import feature has some ways of preventing that taking place. So as I normally do now, just go into our question part, a section part of our presentation. So please, if you've got any questions, pop those into your question box on your meeting control panel. So if I read these out, so first question from Carl, can you merge duplicate emails? Not as standard, Carl. Maybe the question might be back to you, why have you got duplicate emails? There are ways of preventing that. It seems strange that you've got those duplicates, but no, that's one area that GoldMine won't do. Next question from Robin. You mentioned dedupe on import. How does that work? Well, it would be on the basis of one or many match fields to do an exact match of those fields. And there are some import tools that we supply with GoldMine called Import that also have some very clever ways of detecting duplicates on that import. Next question from Andy. Can we merge and purge to change a database from 1 entry per contact to 1 entry per company? Yes, you can, Andy. You can merge those records back to one company. And so basically you're doing a merge purge on the company name, so that you actually get to one record per company and everyone else will be on the additional contacts tab. So quite straightforward. Make sure you have a backup. Next question from Dave. Can you use GM field additional contacts below line as a search for merge purge? Bit similar to Carl's question. No, Dave, you can't do a dedupe, I believe, on additional contacts. They are above the line, your primary contact records. Next question from Jerry. What happens if a record is locked while running? If somebody is editing a record, then it would be skipped. Jeremy, so it's a good idea to make sure that everyone is logged out of GoldMine and that you've got a good backup of GoldMine as well. It's kind of a sort of out of office hours thing, ideally. Next question from Simon. Is it possible to use this feature to correct inconsistencies in the naming of companies, e.g. we have 100 contacts from the same company but the company name is not consistent? You're more likely to use the global replace feature for that, Simon. It might be possible to do that, or maybe another sneaky way of doing it is that you export the records out, the contact records out, together with unique identifying field called the account number. You might then do some cleaning up in, say, Excel or something that you're familiar with, and then you re-import them back into GoldMine in the consistent format that you want. Next question from Michael. What does the weighting number mean, e.g. 100 is 100% match? The weighting number is, well, actually, Michael, the number can be anything. It could be 80, it could be 200. It's just when you select the one or many fields to compare, you're applying a weighting against each of those choices, and then if a combination of some or all of those goes above your qualifying weight, then the merge purge will take place. Sometimes a little bit of a tricky concept to get your brain around, but hopefully that describes it well for you. Next question from Lewis. What does the Twitter field do? I saw on your screen. That's a way of defining what the Twitter ID of that contact is, and then via the GM plus view screen you can actually display social networking activity of that contact. This came out in GoldMine version 9, I think it was, the ability to link to Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn. So a nice way of seeing that activity there. Next question from Andy. Could you merge, purge and produce a new database? No, you can't. Yes, you can create new databases in GoldMine. You can create as many databases as you want. In practice, you'll just have one database. But no, you can't, Andy, on that, I'm afraid. Okay, if any late questions, I don't think there's any more questions coming through. Any more late questions come through, I will answer those separately via email, which I have your email address, I think, on as you registered. Just remains to give you any up-to-date news on GoldMine. We actually have a GoldMine training course on Crystal Reports on the 18th of August. So anyone, Crystal Reports is the primary reporting tool for GoldMine. So if anyone is wanting to do any sort of mission critical type reporting, then Crystal Reports is the way to go. This is the standard reporting tool that's supported by GoldMine. Used to be supplied with GoldMine, but no longer does, but is still very much supported in GoldMine. And so please bear that in mind if you're interested in attending a Crystal Reports training course. Also, we are expecting our monthly hotfix. Every month there's a new updated release of GoldMine that comes out. So the latest version of GoldMine is 2016.1. That major release came out a good few weeks ago, or a few months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. And every month we have these hot fixes that come out. So we are expecting one on Thursday or Friday. Stay tuned, subscribe to our GoldMine blog. There's hundreds of hints and tips up there, and you'll be notified of that new release and how to download it and implement it. And as always, please email me for any suggestions on our near weekly presentations here, any other sort of GoldMine topics that you think would be of interest to the GoldMine community at large. I'd love to hear from us. I can see a few topics, suggestions coming in already. Thanks very much, Louise. So thanks very much for your time, and thanks for your support of GoldMine and Wizard Systems. Please contact us if you want any information, help, or guidance on GoldMine, and we'll hopefully catch up with you next time. Thanks very much indeed.